নমস্কার, আপনাদের সঙ্গে আমি দেবজ্যোতি। আপনারা দেখছেন এশিয়ানেট নিউজ বাংলায়। এই মুহূর্তে আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন রিটায়ার্ড মেজর জেনারেল এস বি আস্তানা, যিনি গ্লোবাল স্ট্র্যাটেজিস্ট শুধু নন, যিনি মিলিটারি অ্যানালিস্ট হিসেবেও বিশ্বজুড়ে পরিচিত এবং ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ওয়ার ফিল্ড নিয়ে তার বিশাল রকমের রিসার্চ রয়েছে এবং 400-রও বেশি পাবলিকেশন তিনি মিলিটারি অ্যানালিস্ট হিসেবে এবং গ্লোবাল যে ওয়ারফেয়ার আছে সেগুলো নিয়েও তিনি বিভিন্ন জার্নালে তার লেখা প্রকাশিত হয়েছে। এবং বলতে গেলে মানে আন্তর্জাতিক যে মিডিয়া এবং ভারতীয় যে মিডিয়া, সেখানে কিন্তু মিলিটারি ওয়ারফেয়ার থেকে শুরু করে গ্লোবাল স্ট্র্যাটেজিস এবং যে টোটাল বিষয়গুলো রয়েছে সেগুলো নিয়ে কিন্তু তিনি নিয়মিত সেখানে তাকে দেখা যায় এবং একজন ওয়ান অফ দা বেস্ট প্যানেলিস্ট হিসেবে। তো স্যার, ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো অফ এশিয়ানেট নিউজ বাংলা।
Thank you.
So actually, I just want to know at first that what could be the most idealistic approach and the strategy to deal with the ongoing situation in Afghanistan that actually has come out for Taliban insurgency.
See, the most appropriate, and if we have to do wishful thinking, the best thing which can happen is that if Afghan security forces, their morale is boosted, they get sufficient air support, and they are as it is more in numbers, and if they can hold on to Taliban offensive, and subsequently continue negotiation and force them for a negotiation, which can bring in a Afghan-owned, Afghan-controlled, and Afghan elected government. This is the best thing which could happen. But this is also a wishful thinking because as of today, Taliban is on the offensive. Their strategy is coming out to be slightly better. They are trying to do that they are cutting off Afghan forces from other countries, all the routes which are connecting, they are trying to capture that first. And they are also trying to isolate various major towns. And since Taliban numbers are slightly low, they are not getting into hand-to-hand fight in built-up areas, especially in the urban areas. So they are going as per a professional strategy. They are being helped by Pakistan in terms of the terrorists. I think about 10,000 odd have been sent. That is what the Afghan vice minister had to say, that is the prime minister. And also the UN figures are also somewhere around that. In addition to that, a professional advice is also being given by the Pakistan Army as well as ISI, and also some kind of air support is also being given. However, whatever Pakistan is doing also has a flip side, because Taliban is not only Afghan Taliban, and it is not only a homogeneous group which can form a puppet to Pakistan. There is a strong element of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan in Taliban. Now, this group does not like Pakistanis. In fact, they have been striking Pakistanis and their army. So it's a mixed bag as far as Pakistan is concerned. So apparently, Pakistan-Taliban collusion seems to be doing well. But yes, if the US can also pitch up, they have done some strikes, although too little, too late, but they have done some kind of air strikes, some kind of air support. And more than the air support, the morale needs to be boosted. And because it's basically the morale, they are more in numbers. Afghan forces are almost about 2 to 3 times in numbers as far as Taliban forces are concerned. But despite higher number, they are not doing that well. So perhaps we need to boost up the morale, and the entire regional community, that is all their neighbors, as well as the entire world, needs to do that for the simple reason, because if Taliban comes into power, the amount of terror groups which will be there in Afghanistan, it will become very, very difficult. Export of terrorism will start all over the world. And therefore, it is in global interest, it is in regional interest that they are uh, put under control, and they do not do everything what they feel like absurd demands of that unless Ghani leaves, we will not talk, and things like that.
Yes, sir. So, sir, each and every time we have seen that it's a very old story that anyone can penetrate into Pakistan. Okay, even can rule, but sustainability of the ruling is not long lasting. Each and every time we have seen now how actually US penetrated into the land of Afghanistan. Now they are backing off, and now again Taliban has come out. So, what do you think? What are the things that actually all the time has doing the thing and to the forces and the ruling forces that it is very much difficult to sustain on Afghanistan?
See, what happens is Afghanistan, in Afghanistan, no foreign recipe or no foreign formula can bring peace in Afghanistan. Secondly, the area of Afghanistan is very tough. The people of Afghanistan, there are large number of tribes, and these tribes are good fighters, and they don't see eye to eye with each other. There are number of tribes like Hazaras are there, Tajiks are there, Pashtuns are there, Baluchis are there, and these tribes also have cross-border linkages in a manner that Baluchistan is aspiring for a different, a separate Baluchistan, and it has got elements in Baluchistan, it has got elements in Iran, it has got elements in Pakistan. Similarly, Pashtuns, they feel that this Durand line is dividing us. So no Afghan government has ever accepted Durand line, including Taliban, even when they were in power. They didn't accept Pakistan's demand. Now, as far as other countries are concerned, whoever went there, why he cannot rule is a very simple thing. And why he cannot bring peace is a very simple thing. You see, let's take the United States strategy for that matter. Now, they went there with a clear-cut aim that we will dislodge Taliban because they have helped Al-Qaeda, which launched 9/11 attack. But had they stopped after dislodging Taliban and after killing Osama bin Laden, had they gone back home and declared victory and gone back home, everybody in the world would have said that, okay, United States have done its job and it's gone back. Bringing peace to Afghanistan is beyond them. It has to be an Afghan-owned peace, intra-Afghan dialogue which can bring peace. Nobody else can bring peace there. So they changed their aim, and it was an impractical aim. And with that, what happened is they started fighting Taliban in a manner that they will be based in, they were based in bases, they were using air power, they were using drones. But when it comes to fighting these insurgents, then these insurgents, especially Taliban, what happened was they could somehow survive in the rural areas, and with the help of Pakistan, some of their leaders could survive in Pakistan. Slowly and slowly, they went into rural areas. Now, US did not have footprints in rural areas. So they started consolidating from rural areas, and from rural areas, they started building towards the urban areas. And now they are not fighting inside the urban areas. And the terrain is such that the moment you air power, when you use air power against terror groups, what happens is if one innocent is killed, 4 more terrorists are born. The same thing happened with Taliban also. Like you would have seen in Kashmir, Indian army has never used artillery, never used air force against the terrorists in Kashmir. The reason is very simple. We have learned our lessons very hard that if you do any collateral damage, one innocent man killed, it brings so much of hatred for you that it's very difficult to continue with an insurgency operation. Same thing holds good for Americans. Innocent people killed means that a hatred for American will develop. If a hatred develops, that means Taliban will keep getting its information. And if they keep getting information, they keep getting funded. They keep getting funded by the Sunni terror groups of the world. And they have Muslim sympathies, especially the Sunni sympathies Sunni terror group sympathies, then what will happen is that they will revive. And this is exactly what happened. Now, subsequently, the second mistake which United States did was they started speaking to Taliban. Now, on one day, you removed them from the chair because you said that they were terrorists. And second day, you start talking to them. So then what happened was Taliban got legitimized, they got legalized, and they thought that the whole world is talking to us, and whole world actually started talking to them. So therefore, there was an element of legitimacy. Now, with that legitimacy, they thought that now they can come to power. Their biggest problem is they cannot win election. No terrorist can win elections. Even in Pakistan, Hafiz Saeed tried and is contested for 400 seats. He didn't win even one single seat. Because civilians, normal man, he doesn't want terrorists to rule him. He doesn't want Taliban to rule him. Because the way they treated their women folk, the way they treated their children, the way they treated innocent people, the way they put restrictions on the ladies to come out, to wear burqas and not to study and things like that. And now certain horrific diktats they have passed, like all girls, single girls between 15 to 45, their list should be prepared and they should be married to the Afghan Taliban fighters. Now, these are the things which people just don't like. So Taliban knows I cannot win an election. So therefore, the only way I can win is that if I cause too much of violence and I throw away either the legal government, legally elected government, or I put them into such a spot that they are forced to accept me into the government without elections and give me the major chunk of power. Now, that is the aim of Taliban. And Americans, they were actually beyond a point, as I mentioned. There is in strategy, we call it as culmination point. That beyond culmination point, if you stay, then you are a tired army, and it was a US tired army fighting a rejuvenated Taliban, a legalized Taliban, which became legalized because Khalizad started speaking to them. So therefore, this was a mismatch, and that is where the tides start turning. And then they thought, it's better to come out because you can't win that war. So their whole aim of thinking that they will be able to bring Taliban to knees or Taliban will do en masse surrender or something like that, they knew that this will never happen. So therefore, it is better to move out. So now they are moving out, and peace in Afghanistan was never their aim. Even when they came, it was not their aim. It is not their aim even now. But the problem is they have one more aim and one more interest. That is, no terror group in Afghanistan should become strong enough to hit the mainland again. That is to cause a 9/11 again. That is the American interest. And that is why whatever little help they are doing regarding air power or some of the air assets and all that. And basically the Afghan Air Force, they've got Air Force, but unfortunately it's in a poor state of maintenance. So that is another area where I think the neighbors can help because with air power and with boots on ground, they should be able to hold on Taliban offensive, and perhaps it may be a better situation. A similar problem was with Russians. It was again, I've explained for Americans, you can apply the same thing to Russians. It was a combat fatigue. We call it combat fatigue. That when without winning, if you continue too long, then you come into a negative graph, which is called as combat fatigue. So Russians also found that they've spent too much, they've spent unnecessarily far too much of manpower as well as money, and it's not going to bring any results. So insurgency does not have a military answer. It's a mind. Taliban is not only those physical terrorists. It is a thought. It is a ideology. So you cannot kill an ideology by military means. Now, this is a basic understanding which the United States, the USSR and others need to understand. And they have now understood a hard way. China is smarter. They have understood it even in advance. And that is why Global Times very recently said that I will not be the third country to unnecessarily get into the graveyard of empires. I will not be the third country. And they have an option that they will buy Taliban and they will get the dirty things done through Pakistan. So that is what the strategy which Chinese are adopting.
আমাদের ভিডিও ভালো লাগলে লাইক এবং শেয়ার করুন। কমেন্ট সেকশনে গিয়ে জানান আপনাদের মতামত। আরও ভিডিও পেতে আমাদের চ্যানেল সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং প্রতি মুহূর্তে খবরের আপডেট পেতে প্রেস করুন বেল আইকন।